First day undercover. Lieutenant Zara Malik adjusted her civilian workout clothes as she approached the Naval Academy's main training facility. Her golden brown skin gleamed in the early morning sun, her black hair pulled back in a simple regulation bun. Her sharp green eyes, which had seen combat in 3 different continents, now scanned the building with calculated assessment. The brass had sent her undercover after multiple harassment complaints from female recruits, complaints that mysteriously disappeared before reaching higher command. "Remember, you're just a new transfer," Captain James Rivera had briefed her the night before, his dark brown eyes filled with concern. "Keep your cover intact." Inside the facility, 3 senior cadets immediately noticed her. Tyler Brennan, a muscular blonde with an entitled smirk, nudged his friends Kyle and Brad. They approached with predatory confidence. Well, Tyler drawled, blocking her path with his broad frame. "Fresh meat. You lost, sweetheart. The Beauty Academy is across town." Zara kept her expression uncertain, playing the intimidated newcomer perfectly. Her 2 arms hung loosely at her sides, non-threatening, even as every muscle in her athletic body tensed with controlled readiness. "I'm assigned to this unit. Cadet Malik." "Malik?" Kyle laughed, circling behind her. "They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now." Brad stepped closer, invading her personal space. "Listen, honey, you won't last a week here. Why don't you save yourself the embarrassment and quit now?" Zara's 5 fingers on each hand curled slightly, old combat instincts, but she forced them to relax. She dropped her gaze submissively. "I just want to serve my country." "Sure you do." Tyler grabbed the training roster from her hands. "Tell you what, since you're new, you get the privilege of cleaning the barracks bathrooms today. All of them. Then you'll organize our gear lockers. Consider it, initiation." The other cadets snickered. "Yes, sir," Zara said quietly, internally noting every word, every gesture, every violation of protocol. As they walked away laughing, Tyler called back, "Oh, and Malik. Don't bother complaining to anyone. Nobody cares what you think." Zara's green eyes flickered with something dangerous for just a moment before returning to false meekness. She pulled out her phone, discreetly activating the recording app. "Just keep talking, boys," she thought. "Keep talking." The breaking point. The afternoon combat drills took place under the scorching sun. Zara performed each exercise competently but not exceptionally, good enough to belong, not good enough to raise suspicion. Tyler watched her like a hawk, looking for any excuse. During partner drills, he volunteered to demonstrate technique on her. His grip on her arm was unnecessarily rough, fingers digging in hard enough to bruise her brown skin. "Pay attention, recruit," he sneered, twisting harder. "This is how we handle resistance." Zara's SEAL training screamed at her to break his hold in 5 different ways. She could have him on the ground in 2 seconds. Instead, she winced convincingly and nodded. When he accidentally shoved her during the obstacle course, sending her stumbling, the other cadets erupted in laughter. She caught herself with practiced grace, too practiced, and had to deliberately fall the rest of the way to maintain her cover. That evening, she reported to Captain Rivera's private office. He stood as she entered, his tan skin flushed with barely controlled anger as his eyes found the dark bruises forming on her forearm. "That's it," he said sharply. "I'm pulling you out." "No." Zara's voice was firm. "We're close to having everything we need." James crossed the room in 3 strides, gently taking her arm, examining the injury with tender concern. His touch was warm, careful, lingering longer than strictly professional. "Zara, I can't watch them hurt you." "I've survived worse," she whispered, but her breath caught at his proximity. His dark brown eyes met her green ones, and something shifted between them, the professional boundary they'd maintained for months suddenly felt impossibly thin. "You shouldn't have to survive worse," he said quietly. "Not from our own people." His hand moved from her arm to her cheek, and Zara leaned into the touch despite herself. James. He pulled her close, one arm wrapping around her waist, the other cradling her head. If I could end this right now. Don't, she interrupted, but her hands were already gripping his uniform, holding him close. I need to finish this. For all the women they've done this to. James lowered his forehead to hers, his breathing uneven. You're the strongest person I know. Then trust me, she breathed. The kiss happened inevitably, months of tension finally breaking. His lips found hers with desperate tenderness, passionate yet careful of her injuries. Zara melted into him, her fingers threading through his dark hair, letting herself be vulnerable in this moment, in this place, with this man. When they finally pulled apart, both breathless, James cupped her face with both hands. One more day, he said firmly. Then I'm ending this, with or without your permission. Zara smiled, stealing one more quick kiss. One more day is all I need. The reveal. The next morning, the entire cadet battalion assembled in the advanced combat training arena. The commandant stood at attention. Today's session will be conducted by a special guest instructor. I expect your utmost respect and attention. Tyler leaned toward Kyle, smirking. Probably some washed-up veteran wanting to relive his glory days. The door opened. Lieutenant Zara Malik entered in full dress uniform, Navy SEAL trident gleaming on her chest, rows of combat medals including a silver star, her posture radiating lethal competence. Her green eyes swept the room with authority. Her golden-brown skin seemed to glow with confidence now, no longer hiding behind false uncertainty. Tyler's face went sheet white. Kyle's jaw dropped. Brad actually stumbled backward. Good morning, Zara said, her voice carrying command that made every cadet straighten instinctively. I'm Lieutenant Malik, Navy SEAL, with 8 years of special operations experience. For the past 3 days, I've been observing this unit undercover, investigating harassment complaints. The silence was absolute. What I witnessed was disgraceful, she continued, her 2 arms crossed over her chest, her athletic frame no longer disguised by slouched posture. Cadets who think strength means intimidation. Who confuse cruelty with leadership. She moved to the training mat. Today, you'll learn what real combat capability looks like. I need a volunteer for demonstration. No one moved. Zara's eyes locked on Tyler. Cadet Brennan. Front and center. He approached reluctantly, face flushed with humiliation and anger. Ma'am, I. Silence. Attack me using any technique you've learned. Tyler hesitated, then lunged with genuine aggression, trying to salvage his pride. Zara moved like water, deflecting, redirecting, using his momentum against him. Within seconds, she had him controlled on the mat, her 5 fingers on each hand positioned precisely on pressure points that left him completely immobilized but unharmed. Combat isn't about size or gender, she said calmly, releasing him. It's about skill, discipline, and respect. Things you clearly need to relearn. For the next hour, she conducted a masterclass that left even the most experienced instructors impressed. Her techniques were flawless, her teaching clear and professional. When she dismissed the class, Captain Rivera approached, no longer hiding his pride. Lieutenant, that was exceptional. Thank you, Captain, she said formally, but her eyes were warm. Later, in the privacy of his office, he pulled her into his arms. You were magnificent. We got everything we needed, she confirmed. Tyler and his crew will face disciplinary boards. The harassment stops now. James kissed her forehead, then her lips, deeply and thoroughly. The commandant wants you as a permanent instructor. Zara smiled against his mouth. Only if you're staying too. Wouldn't dream of leaving, he murmured, holding her close. Outside the window, cadets trained under new supervision, better supervision. Change had come to the Naval Academy, carried in by a woman they tried to intimidate, never knowing she was already one of the military's most elite warriors. The END Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.